Snap your fingers, tap the deck, it's Monday night. What the heck? Cards are flying, tricks are tight. Magic's back, we own the night. Lights are shining, the crowd's alive. In this joyful space, we all thrive. Every shuffle holds a tale. With every wink, we set the sail. Hey, Black Card Club, where the magic comes alive. Laughs, excitement, close your eyes. Watch in awe as the wonders arise. Hey, Black Card Club, join the fun, it's your turn to thrive. With every trick we spark a thrill. Magic's calling, let's get our fill.
Hello there, Black Card Club. Tonight we have a very special lecture. The one, the only, Colin Holt.
Deja vu. So, my goal for tonight was to do what they do at the Magic Circle. So a hands-on magic session. So it's 30 minutes they have and they teach trick. Everybody has the props, everybody does the trick. So we don't just learn it, we properly do it and dive into it and figure it all out. But that would only take a little while. So I started thinking about the trick. And the trick we're going to do is the linking pins. Well, I started thinking about it, and the linking pins is just linking rings, and the linking rings is a trick I've done for a long time, and it kind of just made off. I thought, there's a story to do with this. I thought I might tell that as well, because it'd be an excuse to do a bit of magic theory. Well, I do think of magic because we talk enough about. We come along and do tricks, don't we? Every week we do some more tricks, and I like the theory. I think it's much more interesting. Tricks are all right, but the good bit is underneath all that. So I'm going to tell you a bit about some stuff. Throw in some my thoughts on magic as we go along, and then we'll eventually. I'll show you the. But first, we're going to do the trick. I'll show you the trick we're going to do eventually. I'll do it so we can see it nice and close. So this is a version of the linking rings. I was always fascinated with trick as a child. I'd see this trick done, and I couldn't afford the linking rings, so I would have to do it with whatever I could find lying around. And safety pins was a thing. We had a little brother when we had nappies had pins, and I would do a version of it where you take the pins like this and just rub them together very gently like that, and they should melt one right onto the other, and you can see that really is linked on there. And then they would take the rings like this and they would go little gentle, and they would just melt apart just as easily as they linked. I'll do it one more time for you. Watch really slowly. Watch, you'll see the moment it happens. It's going to go just about there. Do you see that go onto there? And then you can have these pins and you can have a look at these pins and you can examine it. There is nothing to see here. There you go. So that's what we're going to do in a bit. But first, I thought I'd tell you a story about my thing with the linking rings. The reason I'm probably kind of intrigued, but it's been with me all through my magical life for some reason. Probably because when I was 10 years old, went to Butlins, met Chris Davison, who some of you know, taught me some tricks. I within got the bug, changed my life really at that point because I was into magic. And I went to Hamley's and I bought 3 tricks. I bought some Chinese sticks. I bought colour changing handkerchiefs, which is pour through your hand and change, and I bought some of these linking rings. And this was this was literally the very first trick that I ever bought back 45 years ago. And I did it for a long time. You know, I loved it. I was pretty rubbish at it because I was only 10, but I loved the trick. Did it for ages. And I probably did it because Paul Daniels did it. And this is partly why I wanted to talk about theory, because I think the bit of theory I want to talk about is the tricks we do and why we choose them, why we do them, are they any good? And once we learn them, what we're going to do with them. And this is one, because I keep coming back to it, that there's probably a lot to think about when you do these. So here's my linking rings. I've got my first set of linking rings. They're all right. They're good for a kid that was just 10-year ones at the time. I soon needed to move on. And so 13-year-old me, get some professional linking rings. There he is.
I think it's still tables towards me.
13-year-old me with his linking. Now this. So now I'm doing proper magic. Proper magic with proper linking rings. And this is the original set of linking rings. Okay, and I did this for a long time. I did a silent act because I didn't know how to talk at that time. I didn't have anything to say particularly. And I would do this for a long time. You know, and I spent a long time practicing it, trying to figure out moves, trying to make the moves look good, trying to show the key ring without giving anything away. But to be honest with you, I don't like this trick. I don't know if this is a very good trick. It's a classic and it's been around forever, but the way I was doing it was a bit rubbish, I think. But there was a reason why I did it. It lasted 3 minutes. I was in a silent act and lots of card manipulation and productions and billiard balls, and they all take me. I needed something to fill out the time, so I did it only because it lasted 3 minutes, and I quite like it because I like the trick anyway a bit. But is it any good? I don't know. It's a trick. I mean, I don't know what they are. Really, they're just chunking. They're not. You can't examine these ones because I've only got 3 really. If I ask someone how does it work, they'd probably say there's a gap in one, and they'd be right because that is exactly how you think it's done. And then once you've done it once, you do one link, and then you do it again and again and again and again, and then 10 more times, and they're all the same. And it's kind of, and I go, all right, I don't like it, but I did it anyway. And I think that's the thing with any of our tricks. We can look at them and go, oh boy, I did it because I bought it and it was expensive, and that's a proper trick, and it says in the instructions it's easy to do, and it's and it's a classic and all those things. But actually, do I really like this? I don't really. It's all right. It's all the time, but it wasn't great. And that's true. So every trick we look at, I try and think of a trick, and I kind of look and think, is it a good trick? Is it magic or not? There's a really good essay in this book by Eugene Berger called "Collapsible Canes and Self-Deception." You don't need to read the whole essay. The title says it all. It's all about people doing vanishing and appearing canes and candles, and the fact that if magicians don't, because they buy them and they look good, but a lot of time you can see the little spiral of it. You can see how they work, and we're fooling ourselves into thinking this is a good trick, and it's not. It's only a good trick because someone told us it was, a magician told it was, or the dealer said it was. Is it good? It's good in a certain context, in the right place, but for most of us it's not. And I think most of the tricks we do. I like that. So I don't do many tricks now. But there's something about this trick. The second trick I actually went to Dan Hamley's magic department, where I got the little mini rings from. I went back and bought some more, and I bought some linking ropes. I thought that might be, I was still kind of obsessed with this trick, which this was a terrible trick as well. But it's the same. I was just kept obsessed with this thing. Didn't like that one either, really. Clyde Clayton, some of you might know, told me that the problem with this is that it's not magic, because people pretty know how it's done, or they can guess. What you need is more rings. I didn't buy them, but I inherited them. I got some more rings. I got loads of them. Because and he's right. Now I'm thinking about this trick now. This isn't very good. The reason Clyde said this was better is because if I do this, I can show these rings all individually, and then you link them together, and then you give them out to be examined. And now they can examine the rings. Now it's more magical. But now you've got to have a machine. So and they'll take those and they'll try and separate them, and you'll take those ones back and you'll switch them around a bit, and you'll do some stuff and you'll separate. So now it probably is becoming more of a magic trick. So that could be good. But it's actually really complicated to come up with a good routine for these and to work out. I found a couple of old books with it in. I did even. But yeah, I couldn't be bothered. It's a lot of hard work to learn it, and I still don't know if it's like because it's even more repetitive. If that was doing it a lot of times, how many times am I going to link and unlink all of these? So yeah, I still, but I'll add into my collection of linking rings. They're coming along nicely now. The other trouble is that becomes a puzzle now. That's not a magic trick, is it? It's a puzzle. How did I get? If I'm given to examine, you're trying, where's the gap? Can't find it. It's not magic. And I want to do magic. I want it to be, if someone's going to see a trick, I want them to experience real magic. Unless it's a joke. I'm doing something, I think you can do 3 things. You can maybe do something funny, do something interesting, or you can do something that looks like real magic. And anything else it's all right, it's a trick. It's good for the magic club. But if I'm showing real people, I want to show them something that will kind of blow their mind. So I've got to find the versions of this. Actually, the one that probably is the best one is the old Crazy Man's Handcuffs, because this is basically the linking rings. But this is what I want the linking rings to be. Visual, impossible. You can see the magic happen, you can examine it, there's nothing to see there, and they have no idea. And this you probably can't do it with this trick, but I still kind of want to do it, because I have seen people make it good. I saw Victor Voitko does it. He does a floating linking rings, and they levitate and link in midair. That's really clever. And we saw, what's the pickpocket's name? Mark Raffles. Did you see that? Remember that? And he did. Mark Raffles said it was really big rings. Yeah. And he was just this old man he was a bit clumsy, and he thought, oh, this is a bit rubbish, isn't it? But then they'd start linking to the buttonholes of his jacket and the chair, and you realise he was doing these really clever links and unlinks, and I didn't see how he was linking them. And it was the clumsiness of him getting it wrong, and it was really amazing. And it was just that. So I kind of think, oh, perhaps, although I bought this trick and I didn't like it, I never spent enough time on it. And Mark obviously did. He spent a long time on it, and he made it really funny and really clever. So you could do that. You could make that good. Or you could do some other things. You could do what I did, and I went and bought Dan Garrett's linking pins. So we're getting to the linking pins. This is many years later. Rob was saying that there's another version of linking pins just come out fairly recently, which is, I think, apparently the same as what we're going to do tonight. I don't know what they're selling it, how they can be selling it. And I bought one a few years ago, which is where my one came from, which we'll get to in a bit. But this one I bought from Dan Garrett years ago. Lockdown, could be 20 years ago. Right? I bought this one. This was all right, but this one, there's a gimmick pin in it, but the gimmick, you can't hand it out. It's permanently gimmicked. So I never did it. What's quite interesting is, for the purposes of the teaching bit in a minute, I went out, I thought I'm going to buy some big pins to teach it with. How much I paid for that? I'm guessing I paid 5-10 quid, probably 20 years ago. Yeah. So I don't know how much that costs, but I realised once I went and bought today, for a quid, well, that's all it was. So 20 years ago, he was probably selling me that, it probably cost him 10p, and I paid 10, 15, probably maybe more for that. And it's a trick I could never do. Yeah.
3 pins.
That's 3 pins. All right. Because it's a con. Because again, it's another thing. So do we buy it because we saw someone else do it? I did the rings because I saw Paul Daniels do it, and I wanted to do that trick. And then I wanted to do it because I got this really fancy set, and someone said it was really good. And then I got one because I bought this. This isn't linking, this is something else. But I'm still kind of just falling for that thing of, it's just someone tells me it's good, but this one isn't very good because I can't hand the pins out. And I now realise I wasted an awful lot of money on it because he just would do it in a bit. He just made one. He bought a load of these really cheap, made the gimmick and job done. So how am I going to make them? I'm still bugging me about these rings. I still want to do. There's got to be a way to make them interesting. I did see Andrew O'Connor, I think, doing Mike Caveney's linking coat hangers. Oh, this is starting to turn into, this could be one now. This could be a good version of the linking rings, couldn't it? I can do it, because now you've got an everyday object and you can do the same thing. Now these ones are, and you can link these all together and do this. And that's what's going to be the answer to my linking ring thing. I was going to do this version of it. I practiced it a lot. It's really nice. I didn't pay for it. I got it at Portsmouth second hand. I wouldn't pay because it probably cost a fortune to buy a new one of these. But it makes sense as a prop. It was quite funny. It's not actually that great a method. The gimmick is a little bit hard to do. It hasn't got a big gap in it, because the idea is you can show all the rings, coat hangers at some point, and it looks like they're all linked. So I never really got on with it, and it was a bit awkward. It's a bit clumsy. They get tangled. The story is that coat hangers get tangled, so that's why these are hard. Well, these ones can separate and whatever. So it's neat. But the only reason I probably really liked it was because there's a little sequence at the end when you get a saw and you can try and say, I'm going to try and saw them, and then the saw links on as well, and that kind of was quite cool. But yeah, I never did, because it was just probably one day I'll keep coming back to it. One day I will figure it out, and I'll spend some more time on it, and I will get it. But that's a bit clunky. There still's got to be another one. There must be another one. There is another one out there. I bought, and I remember this is a trick I don't like. I'm really not into the linking rings that much, but
it don't show, does it? You hide it well.
I do. So I bought. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Now this one, this is probably the closest I'm going to get. I'll do it. I'm going to. Right, let's get these out. This is a little bit more dangerous. This one. So these are my barbed wire linking rings. These are very dangerous. You have to be a bit more careful with these. They're very sharp. I will do it without the gloves, I think, because it's just a bit hard to do that. I would probably do this one if I can. It's a little bit now. It's a little bit. I didn't actually. I should have prepared it a bit more, because it's actually quite well made, because it's quite hard to spot where the special one is.
The special one.
Apparently. Now, apparently there is. So you can do the same thing. You can do your linking ring, all the same things with your linking ring that is with barbed wire ones, and you can have them. All right. This is nearly good now. This is probably gone. And again, it's probably just I haven't spent enough time on it. There's lots of bits you can do where you can kind of have it linked, and it kind of links like that. So it looks like, and then you can link it without coming off the gap. So, this could be the one. It's still so it's not going to be a great trick, I don't think. I don't know. And again, because I've had so many of them now, I can't see the magic in it anymore. I probably need someone to tell me if it's actually a good trick or not, or is it just a funny thing? It might just be a comedy bit, and a comedy bit, that's fine. I do lots of bits that are just a joke. It can be this, I like the barcode gag and all those things. It doesn't have to be great magic if it's funny. But if it is magic, I want it to be magic. And so, or if ideally I want it to be both. So we've got all of these. So yeah. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see what people think about. Whether we can go through it properly in a bit. But if actually whether this is, I don't know, is it magical or not? I don't know. With any of them, are any of them magical, or are they all just something we kind of commit to?
There's some funny bits.
There's some funny bits. It's very funny, and it's kind of, and again, you get caught up in it, and you get stuck, and it gets stuck everywhere. Yeah, and you're kind of pulling it off. So it's a really good routine, but is it magic? I don't know. So I'll be curious to see what everything about these, real kind of things about the linking rings as a trick. Is it a good trick or not? Finally, we do get to the best one, probably, if I'm thinking just purely magic, was this one. This one, to me, is the only one that is magic because it's visual. It's almost Crazy Man's Handcuffs. It's not quite as good, but it's got a visual. I'm not telling you it's magic. I'm not hiding in a box. You watch that and you see the magic happen. It's simple to the point, and at the end of it, it's simply examined, and it cost me 20p, if that. Probably 10p. You can actually probably push you 10p to do that. I don't know how many hundreds of pounds are on that table. And we're obviously about the new ones that are coming out. You're talking 40, 50 quid. All you're going to get is probably this. I did when I bought this. When I learned this one, I bought an effect. There was another one, and it had one other pin with it. It had a tiny magnet just here, so you could do the link and then you could have one where you could just link it on visual at the end. But what's the point? But that one was no better than the other two links, and I can't examine this. I've got to hide this pin. I can't examine it. So again, it was magicians there coming to sell me something as a thing that's really, this is really going to magician. Oh, that's really nice, that last link, but why would I do it? Now, because we're going to do this version, which you can do for next to nothing, make them up, and it's strong. I think it's a strong one. I think it's and be interested to see if you already do it, and you got there are tips on it, or anything to do, and if not, we'll have a go. So that's my little story of the linking rings, and as you see, I'm kind of a bit obsessed with it. I have just found out I found a download today. Axel Heckler's got a linking ring routine for 7 or 8 rings. And I am quite tempted, even though because he's got some really good. He's got some the way he does. Oh, because that was the other version. I did buy another version. These ones actually. This is the Shutagawa set of the ninja rings. So the ninja rings was really good. Ninja rings was good because you're doing these kind of very visual links where they're just and you don't do. But there's a lot of really hard moves in it. And again, it's still. So the only bit I like about it. I like doing this. I like going to and just doing that visual, but I don't want to do the rest of it. But yeah, so that was yet another version I bought for a trick. I really don't. I did a lot when I was in my teenage and early 20s. I did the big ring, just that set, an awful lot. None of the others I've ever used in real life, apart from I've never bought them to magic clubs. So yeah. So that's my sort of thinking. So after all of that money and all that time, I think this is the one to do. So that's the one we're going to learn. So, you want me to start again now, Mark? Just thinking for the bits you missed.
I should say yes.
Okay.
Mark, you can watch it on my phone in the morning.
So let's learn the links. Does anybody do this? The linking pins, or have done it?
Probably not the version that you're doing.
Okay.
I do know the version.
So let's learn them. So all you need is some pins.
You don't really want these, do you?
And that made me think, yeah, I've got to have them. And there was 13 Chinese linking rings.
Yeah.
Wow. I worked out afterwards.
It's got to be good.
The reason it's 13 is because you have loads of audience participation. You can have loads of kids with 13, aren't you? Okay, and so I think it's entertainment is the thing.
Yeah.
And then I went to see Ken Brook and said I wanted him to design an act for me.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, open with the rings, 3 rings, big ones, so that people can see it. And our teacher has to do it and all of that." Now, Al Karan's thinking rings. And yeah, audiences seem to like them, you know, with the pattern I was doing. And I thought, how did Al Karan do it? And then I saw a little bit of a newsreel of when Al Karan went out to entertain the troops with Frankie Howard.
Yeah.
And he was doing this 3-ring routine to the troops.
Yeah.
He was going up to them and he had little jokes about each of the moves. And he was quite entertaining. And I think that anything that's entertaining is good. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do with a ring, which is entertaining. And I just think it's a shame that a classic of magic is being derided.
When I say, because as you can tell, I don't really dislike. I think there's what I've never found is how I can make it good for me, and that's why I keep playing with it and I keep coming back to it because I love all the classics. I actually love the classics. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I actually do. I'll do.
So that whole speech was all a lie.
No, I do. Up till now has just been lies. I don't like the way. I don't like the way I do this. When I did this, when I was doing this, I was doing a silent act, so I couldn't because I didn't have the confidence to talk then. So just as a silent thing, I don't know if it's very magical. It was nice. It was it probably looked elegant, but was it magic? I don't know if it was magic.
It could be entertaining, but not necessarily magic.
Now there was lots of people that made it good. Now Clive would do it. A lot of people do these lots of things. I get it. I know you absolutely got the more rings you have, you hand them out, and it is good. But it never suited me. I couldn't. It just wasn't right for me. I couldn't present it that way. Again, I probably haven't looked at that for years. I bet this was a long time ago. These are my attempts, and I buy these ones because this is perhaps I can make them with. Then none of them they kind of didn't suit my style, and that's the thing. I think they're great tricks, and all the classics. I think any classic is worth learning because you learn sleight of hand, you learn misdirection, you learn routining. Because you have to make that interesting, you've got to think about it, but you can't just move, just link on it. So it does make you think about it, even if you never do it. I would recommend learning any of the classics, and I love it when I find someone does the classics and they just little tweak to it, and you think, I don't know how he did that. And then you see, I did know he did that. It was exactly the thing I already knew, but it's just that. So I don't like me doing that trick, but I want to buy axles because I think I know enough about magic to go back to it again. Because these were a long time ago. This goes back 45 years. Most of them are probably in my 20s and 30s. Now I probably know enough to come back and go, right, I can talk now on stage. I could probably have another go. And now I could do it. But I couldn't then. And I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And now I think I'm old enough to go, right, I'm not going to be fooled by the waffle and all the stuff they say, because it's not true. It's not going to fix it for me. None of those fixed it for me. The only one I ever did a lot was just the simple things like that, but it wasn't magic now. Because I want to do real magic now. I've learned enough secrets now, good ones, that I can do stuff and I can make people's go. That's my favourite reaction. If I'm going to watch Trick and they go, and literally jaw drops because they don't know how it happened. Now that probably wouldn't happen with me doing the linking rings. So I like the tricks and make that, or I can make them laugh a lot. But if I could find a way to make that work, I would definitely do it. So I do like it, but I just don't like me doing that trick. But I love Mark Raffles doing it. I like the Victor Voigt version. There's lots of them. There's lots of really good versions of it out there that people actually know that suits their character, suits their style, make it good. And that's why this isn't about linking rings. It's about any trick and every trick. So Matt's always saying to me, "Do this trick, Dad. Do that one." And I can't because I could technically. But it just doesn't feel right, or I haven't got anything to say, or just to make it magic. So it's just, I think it's just thinking about it. And again, what we're going to do now, we're going to do that. We're going to have a go. But thank you. That was a good point. And it was, and actually, I'd actually love to be able to have a chat about doing the bigger recently more rings, because I had Greater Magic, and I think I had one of the Tarbell course I looked up that when I did it many years ago, and I struggled just trying to make sense of it from that, because that was
15 inches.
Yeah.
So it does make it
It does.
Bigger than yours.
Yeah, but mine might be small, but it's what it's what you do with it. Isn't it? No, but,
You did not use it as a roll, though.
yeah. So I need a big one.
You need a big one, then you can do it. You can do it for kids, don't you, Ronnie?
So yeah, no, so yeah. I actually be quite interested because I inherited both those multiple sets, and to do so, even if I perform it, I'd like to learn to do them, just so properly, so they look good and not as I've seen people do it, and they're just moving the rings around. You really make it magic. So cool. Any other before we do that? Is there any other? I mean, I don't know. Just what do you think of as a trick? Is the linking rings?
I like the barbed wire ones. I like them. That's right up my street.
Yeah, and that's probably the one. The only reason I don't do it is because
was it
Quadro? Yeah, Quadro and laser. Quadro's a vicious.
I know someone that's got a set that don't like linking rings, so I just wait for it to go into an auction. Yeah.
So
show Mark.
I think because I did them at the Black Card Club once before. The only reason I don't really want to do them is because there's lots of these little power magnets everywhere, and I just don't trust myself not to go and put my phone and my wallet in the pocket that's got the magnets in after I've done it. I will do that, and there's just too, and they are super powerful magnets in there, sort of. And I just but it is quite a good one, and I might do it. But I think the part of me just likes this. I do like the simplicity of the classic, the other trick. So I mean, the stuff I did at the show. I mean, I'll do a 6-card repeat. I've done the 6-card repeat. A story about Paul Daniels and seeing him when I was 10, that is true. I saw him when I was 10 and I did it since then, and I copied his routine, and I still do pretty much the same thing. And I've made the cards, I've managed to make the cards better now, so they look, hopefully, I think they look like single cards, and they look, that insane. But at the end, I still like that trick, which is a really old trick, and it's a simple thing, but it just works. It's not any fancy technology or any gimmick, it's just simple, but it's been around forever because it probably works. So yeah, but I might one of these days. You never know. And that's why I keep coming back to it. If I don't like it now, I'll look at it, I'll put it away because I can't do it at the moment, and then in a few years' time I'll dig it out again. And like today, this has kind of got maybe you look at them again and think, actually,
I like the linking pins as well.
Yeah.
As they're 15 meters.
yeah. Well, I've got some. There was some slightly bigger. If I can get, I have seen there was some that were quite big. I nearly got them. I was going to bit them. So, but
Where did you get the big ones from?
the haberdashery shop in Ramsgate. But I mean, I just ordered these off of eBay today. So not eBay, Amazon. Because I got them in the haberdashery. The loads in the haberdashery shop. They would look us. I learned the method and thought, well, I'll buy loads of them. And yeah.
Pretty much mine in the coat hanger strip. You've got the coat hangers, and you brought them up, and once they were little tiny paper clips.
Something like that. Yeah, there's lots of. I think the script that comes with it. They've got some patterns with it. Again, it's kind of something I've got to find my own one because those jokes they're sort of dad jokes, but they're not quite dad enough for me. They're just too cheesy. Right? Should we learn this trick?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. 2 pins each. You're going to make the gimmicks yourself. I'm not doing it for you. Okay, so this is my version of the classic linking rings, but back when I couldn't afford to buy them. And so I have to use whatever I can find. For this, I'm going to use 2 safety pins. I'm going to rub the pins together very gently like that, and one should melt right through the other. You can see that it's linked on there. To separate them, just take them, just a gentle blow, and they'll melt right apart. One more time, pop that one on top of there like that. And watch closely, you'll see the moment the magic happens. Just about there. And there's the ring. Pin locked back on there, and everything can be examined. Okay, so here we go. So to do the linking pins, we're going to take just 2 regular safety pins. These are 55mm ones. And we're going to gimmick one. We're going to gimmick them. We do that. We just take the pin and we're going to bend it back like this, bit by bit, and gradually until it kind of takes that bend, the spring out of it, and position it. It sits just behind So from the front, hopefully it will look.
Keep your hands where they are.
From the front, hopefully it will look like it's closed. It needs a little bit more. That should be about
really
right.
tight.
Okay. And just because I want it to just rest when it's open, just rest just behind the pin there, line them. So the front, it will hook like when it's open. Well, you can't if it's open or closed. Now it could be. Now it's closed. Now it's open.
Yep.
Do that with both the pins.
Yep.
And then the second pin, you're going to gimmick it and then bend it back. The reason for that is this: when it's a new pin, it will be really springy, and you don't. This one will have less spring in it. You want them to feel the same at the end. So by gimmicking both of them and then opening that one up, they'll feel the same. Okay, this one for performance, I've got the one that's already set, and I'll link that, put it onto the little ring onto there, so I can tell which is the gimmick pin and which is the one that's not. The one that's going through the little ring there is the gimmick pin. The routine, I take that one off of there. Doing this shows that the pin is just it's just a pin, without actually having to say anything. Then I have to unlock this one. So the locking and unlocking looks like this. You hold the pin, fingertip, just finger and thumb, the middle finger just push up there, and it will just push out a little bit of pressure, and that will pop out of there. And so to unlock, just holding it there, tiny bit of pressure pops out. To lock it again, push up with the thumb, and it clicks back in again. It'll unlock, lock. That's what we're going to do at certain points. So for the first one, I'm going to bring this out, and I'll just unlock it while I'm talking. No one will see it while you're moving around. I'm going to bring the pins together. And I want to look like I'm linking right here in the middle, but I've got to hook it onto there. So I'm going to bring the pins together at a little bit of an angle like that. And as you can see, it just hooks onto there. Done smoothly though, you don't really see it link on. Hopefully it still looks unlinked. I rub them together and then let that come onto there like that. At this point, I could show the pin. And now if in here, you'll probably hear it. If I shut the pin now, you might hear a little click. Sometimes you don't. Just to be honest, I just give the pin a shake as I lock it. And now I can show this all around linked on. Okay, so we're in the link position. We're going to unlink now. We've just popped this open, so rub together and just bring them apart. And you don't want to draw attention to the fact it's coming from that end, so you might move your hands a bit as you do it, so it just looks like it's melting off. This is the point where they've unlinked. They're unlinked now, and then you just separate. For the second phase, this is the really nice. We're going to pop the ring back on the top. We're going to just look like it's resting on the top, but in the act of doing that, we're going to hook it back on there. It just slides in under there. But then at speed, it will just rest on the top of there. Grab the pin by the edge, and this is from the front. That will look like it's just balanced on top. Just very slowly tip it, and then when it gets to there, the little flick, it kind of looks like that's the moment it links. Again, give it a little shake as you lock the pin. Show it all around. That one more time because that's my favourite bit. So it just rests on there as if you're just laying it on the top, holding it all at fingertips. There's no need to grip. Let that go really slowly. Let that moment happen when it gets to there, and then it links. Shake it as you lock, and then to clean up, you're going to take this pin and you're going to pull the gimmick out. You're going to bend it out so it takes the gimmick out, and lock the other one to show that everything looks normal, can be examined, and you're done.
Join us next Monday, the 23rd of June at 7:30 for our evening without David Williamson. Bring your stories, effects, and maybe even Rocky along as we discuss the life and magic of this legend in our field.